Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Let's make some super soft hot cross buns. We start off by adding the orange zest into the flour and cinnamon mixture. I'm taking it out of a cling film because I had put them in the freezer. That's what I do. Whenever I have oranges or lemons at home, I just zest them and put them in the freezer for when I need them. So make a well in the flour and add the salt to one side. And with the yeast activated, we're just gonna pour that into the flour. To activate your yeast, you need to add the sugar and yeast to the milk. Then let that sit for about 5 minutes until it's frothy before you add it on to the flour. But if you're using instant yeast, you don't have to do this. You would just pour the instant yeast onto the flour and then pour the milk and the sugar over it and give that a good mix. Once the mixture has formed what looks like a shaggy dough, tip it onto the kitchen counter and begin to knead. At the beginning, it will not be as elastic and will easily break. So continue kneading until the dough is smooth and elastic. Then proceed to add the butter. Well, this is the part that I find to be quite fun actually. Maybe it's because it's just also squishy. If you have a stand mixer, I highly recommend that you use one. But if you don't, then just have fun with it. Knead the dough until the butter is well incorporated into the dough and it is smooth and elastic. Kneading this kind of a wet dough without a stand mixer can be a bit of a challenge. So how I do this is to use what I call the slap and burr method. It's whereby I lift up the dough, smack it onto the kitchen counter, and drag it across. And it also has the same motions as when a dog is burrowing through the dirt. What you're trying to do is stretch it out as much as you can. So you're holding onto the dough, smacking it onto the kitchen counter, dragging it across the kitchen counter, and then pulling it up into what should at some point, be a very elastic dough. You should need no more than 3 tablespoons of flour while kneading, so avoid at all cost adding more flour than that. And once the dough is nice and smooth, we're going to go ahead and do the window pane test. This just tests the elasticity of the dough. So what you want to do is portion a piece of the dough, then stretch it out as far as you can. And it should not immediately break, but should be able to stretch out for quite a bit of a distance, and then you know that it's ready. Then we move on to adding the sultana. Just evenly spread it across the dough, then using your palm, press the sultana into the dough and then roll it into itself. Tip the dough into a lightly buttered bowl and cover with cling film and a kitchen towel to proof until doubled in size. When the dough is ready, knock back and portion into 12 equal-sized buns. Roll each one into a tight dough ball and leave to rise again on a parchment-lined baking tray. Make sure to space out the buns as they will expand and spread out during proofing and baking. The dough balls should proof for about an hour or until they're doubled in size. And remember to loosely cover them with cling film and a kitchen towel on top of that. Preheat the oven to 185 degrees Celsius, that's about 365 degrees Fahrenheit. Lightly glaze the buns with an egg wash, which is just a small egg with 2 tablespoons of milk. Then let that sit for 3 minutes, and in the meantime prepare the paste. Making the paste is as simple as pouring the oil into the water, then pour that into the bowl with the flour and whisk until smooth. Then put that in a piping bag and decorate the buns before baking. And with that done, bake for 25 minutes in the middle rack. Rotate the baking tray halfway for even browning. Make the syrup at least 10 minutes before the buns are ready. That way you can immediately glaze the hot crust buns with the vanilla syrup once they're out of the oven. The syrup is also quite easy to make. Just add the sugar and water into a pot over medium heat and bring that to a boil until the sugar dissolves. Then wait another minute and take the syrup off the stove before it starts to thicken, and let it cool before stirring in the vanilla. And that's it, your hot crust buns are ready. Super soft, extremely fragrant, and you absolutely need to share. So if you like this recipe and would like to see some more simple, delicious recipes, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Have a lovely day. Bye.